Hey there, students. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of live attenuated vaccines. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of what they are and how they work. Let's get started. First off, what exactly is a live attenuated vaccine? Simply put, it's a vaccine created from a living virus or bacteria that's been weakened or attenuated so it can't cause disease in healthy people. Think of it as a training program for your immune system. These vaccines expose your body to a very small, harmless version of the pathogen, which helps your immune system learn how to fight it off if it ever encounters the real deal. Now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between live attenuated vaccines and other types of vaccines? Great question. The main distinction lies in how they're made and how they work. Live attenuated vaccines use a weakened form of the virus or bacteria. Because the pathogen is still alive, it can replicate in your body, but it's too weak to cause illness. This replication triggers a strong immune response, often providing long-lasting immunity with just 1 or 2 doses. In contrast, inactivated vaccines use a killed version of the pathogen. Since the pathogen is dead, it can't replicate in your body. This usually means that multiple doses are needed to build up and maintain immunity. Another point to consider is how these vaccines are used. Live attenuated vaccines are often used for diseases where a strong and enduring immune response is crucial. Examples include the measles, mumps, and rubella MMR vaccine, the varicella chickenpox vaccine, and the oral polio vaccine. However, because they contain live pathogens, these vaccines aren't suitable for everyone. People with weakened immune systems, like those undergoing chemotherapy or with certain medical conditions, need to avoid live attenuated vaccines. So how are these vaccines developed? It's a meticulous process. Scientists grow the virus or bacteria in a lab and repeatedly pass it through cell cultures or animal embryos. Over time, the pathogen loses its ability to cause illness in humans, but still prompts a robust immune response. Live attenuated vaccines have several advantages. They often provide lifelong immunity with fewer doses and stimulate a strong cellular and antibody response. But they must be kept cool, which can be a challenge in areas without reliable refrigeration. To sum it up, live attenuated vaccines are a powerful tool in preventing infectious diseases. They mimic natural infections closely, providing robust and long-lasting immunity. However, they're not suitable for everyone and require careful handling to maintain their effectiveness. I hope this deep dive into live attenuated vaccines has been enlightening. Always remember to consult with healthcare professionals about any vaccine decisions. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep learning. Thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.